I'm Cade. I'm a student at Pratt Institute studying art education, and I am the I'm on the officer board for Queer Pratt, Sick and Disabled Student Union, and the Pratt Gaming Club. My friends used to tell me that I cycled through gender identity labels like a little red toy bicycle, because I was 60 shades of non-binary, and then very firmly binary trans man, and now I'm back to being like, yeah, I'm like mask presenting a lot of the time because it's what people see me as, and it's easier than explaining the concept of non-binary genders to every person I meet ever.
I feel similarly.
Yeah. It can also be very frustrating being like the only touchstone people have for trans people, especially because you kind of get wedged into this corner where you're not allowed to be upset or angry about anything, which, when you're surrounded by conservatives, even if they're well-meaning and trying to learn things, is a little difficult. I'm from not the smallest town. My high school had like 1,500 people, but upstate New York, almost Canada, in a fairly conservative area of people who considered themselves to be very nice people. So, they wouldn't necessarily say anything to your face, but there was a lot of, you need to perform gender in this way if anyone's going to ever take you seriously. And even then, you're not taken seriously. So I was involved in a lot of, okay, I need to wear only this and have my haircut like only this and talk like this and walk like this and only engage in these activities, but also being extremely queer and a theater person and the art kid. I do not have a technical diagnosis yet, but I have the nurse practitioners at school and also my doctor back home who is and literally every person with hypermobile EDS that I've ever fucking met pretty much tell me that, yeah, that's what's going on with you, but also I don't have the money or energy to see a bunch of specialists on top of school right now. Maybe next semester when I'm a graduate student, but it's very hard to do that, especially when I have to plan things, because I'm not down here full time. I go back upstate for breaks and summers usually, and it gets difficult trying to plan doctor's appointments around, okay, when are we gonna have money? When's mom's rent due? That kind of stuff. When am I going to have the energy with school? And then I just don't do it because I also have untreated ADHD, and then the thing doesn't happen. Anyway, so sorry I'm tangenting.
No worries.
I have had chronic pain since I was 8. At least that's as long as I can remember.
Hey,
yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
They told me it was growing pains, which, yeah, you're 8. If you're 8, no one wants to diagnose you with a connective tissue disorder. And then I stopped growing in the 7th grade. Because I'm 5'3", and it is not necessarily growing pains after that. And then they were like, well, it's because you're a fat kid. And I was like, no, it was happening before then. And at that point, both the chronic pain and I also have migraines that were fairly common while I was in middle and high school. So at that point, between the chronic pain and my dysphoria being really severe, because I couldn't necessarily be out to a lot of my extended family, and a lot of people at school, I was the first trans person that they actually had to interact with. So my dysphoria was very not good. I dissociated a lot during middle and high school, honestly, and I sort of existed slightly removed from my body, so I didn't really fully process what I looked like or how my body felt. And if I mentioned earlier, I think, that I did my senior show on a dislocation in my foot and shin splints in both legs because I was able to remove myself from that, even though it really hurt. And I was basically dissociating through migraines and through my ribs being what I know now as a partial dislocation, because at first I was binding with 3 sports bras on top of each other, because that's what you do when you're not out and you have triple Ds. Yeah, but then I became kind of not necessarily the one trans person at school, but basically very much one of the most visible, because I was 17 and angry and loud about it. And I mean, I know there was this whole thing where we changed my senior year. They decided to change from red's the girl color and blue's the boy color for graduation to having us all wear red, and all of the trans kids thought it was lovely. A lot of the teachers thought it was lovely. But there were very many students who were rather upset. Largely,
You're not forcing us to have this binary gender.
Yeah, no.
That's terrible.
There were a lot of, jocks felt emasculated because they had to wear the girl color, and a lot of very Rudy Tooty, that's not a word, God. A lot of, very, my way or the highway type, ex-Catholic schoolgirls and, very fundamentalist girls were like, you can't do this, so we're going to start a counter petition because these trans people are forcing themselves on us. And I'm like, I did nothing, my guy.
Jeez.